being here. And we'll stand up and start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please remain standing as well. Excuse me. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Caldwell, will you honor, sir?
Thank you so much for being able to be here tonight and bring everybody here safely. We pray, Father, that your will be done, that it will be a meeting that not only makes progress and gets things done, but a meeting that will just please all, if not what is being done, but with the passion for what people are trying to do. We pray that this will be a great, wonderful, productive meeting, everyone, that all will leave here safely and return home safe and sound. Holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
And if we will have a moment of silence for any of our neighbors that passed away. Thank you so much. Please be seated at this time. If you would check your phones, make sure you got your ringers off. And I'll ask any of the commissioners that may have a conflict of interest with any of the issues on the agenda as it is, please let it be known now. Okay, I'll put that on here. Ah, there we go.
Turn your mic on.
Yes, I got to turn it on.
John's microphone.
Everybody get your microphones on.
Say the Michael.
All right, next is the adoption of the agenda as it is.
Make a motion to adopt the agenda.
Okay. Second.
Second.
All in favor? Next up is public comment. We have Daryl Buchanan. I don't think Daryl's here. No, I don't see Daryl. Okay, moving right along. Chief Silva, PD quarterly report. He's here.
Better be.
Good evening.
Good evening, Chief.
All right, so as you can see, second quarter was pretty busy for the police department. April, May, and June. Just ended it, so going into July 4th weekend, which was even busier. The police department remains fully staffed with no current vacancies at this time. The police department continues to conduct high visibility patrol, traffic enforcement operations. Officer Sutton and Moneymaker conducted an elder fraud and scam presentation at the Cape Cartwright Baptist Church. Officer Moneymaker also participated and ran in a law enforcement torch run from Philadelphia to Cape Cartwright. Officers provided traffic control for the torch run and the law enforcement memorial bike ride that was conducted the same week. The department participated in the Memorial Day weekend traffic campaign through the Governor's Highway Safety. That kind of started a traffic campaign that we continue on through the July 4th weekend. We increased boat ramp patrols and park patrols for the summer and on Memorial Day weekend and I'm going to tell you July 4th weekend we had officers stationed in those neighborhoods. One officer in each neighborhood checking boat ramps, checking golf carts, and being visible specifically in those neighborhoods. We selected the officers that did not have radar, and we put them in those neighborhoods, and then we took the ones that did have radar, got them up on the highways, and got them on some of the side streets where we've gotten complaints for traffic and traffic control. All officers completed forcible entry training. We're trying to do some cooperative training with the Western Cartwright Fire Department routinely. We've got something coming up in August where we'll be doing some rapid deployment training with them, but we did forcible entry at the fire station.
What is forcible entry?
So the fire department has a lot of tools that we don't have to break into doors and to get into doors and windows rapidly, and they taught us how to use their tools. So if we got to a situation where we had, say, an officer that's getting ready to breach a door, we don't have to have a fireman put himself in danger to do that. We can take those tools, we can breach the door, we can enter. We also have breaching tools in all of our cars. They just have a lot more stuff. We may be adding some tools that they showed us that will get us in the doors really quickly. Total calls for service for the second quarter, 2,529. We conducted 4,883 directed patrols. That's at your boat ramps, your parks, your residential neighborhoods, and then targeted traffic enforcement operations. All of that is proactive for the directed patrols. Traffic stops at 1,967. That's not counting our July numbers. This is just the second quarter. Traffic citations, we issued 773, and warnings 1,194. So for the traffic enforcement in the neighborhoods, in addition to the boat ramps, we were looking for stop sign violations. That's what we're getting complaints on. So we had the officers doing that in between checking the boat ramps. The officers that work on the highway were mainly targeting careless and reckless aggressive driving and misdemeanor and criminal speed. That speed is 15 miles an hour. The highest vehicle we stopped speed was 92 miles an hour in town. We averaged, several of them were averaging in the 60s. Got a couple of 70s, most in the high 50s, below 60s, and a 35 zone. That's not safe. We also were targeting intersections. So the areas that we were mainly targeting were from Bayshore to Channel View on 24, and then downtown at the stoplighted intersections with people speeding through those, and then on Taylor Notion as you come off of 58. Motor vehicle collisions. So we had 21 for the total month, but the month we were doing our traffic campaign, through June, we only had 2 motor vehicle collisions in a 30-day time period, which is pretty impressive. The year prior, we had 8, and the year before that, 17, month of June. So we've reduced those.
Have you given any complaints about the electric bikes and mopeds and all that stuff?
Not really. That started when they first were getting really big. People are kind of getting used to them now, I think. If we see them and they're not obeying the traffic stop signs, we'll stop. If they're juveniles, we'll ask them for a helmet on. That's what we're doing for the enforcement of that.
Well, Sunday I was on back at Star Hill, and I had a family. I was doing 25 the speed limit, and the whole family passed me on their electric bikes.
Yeah, just call it in. If you will, call it in, and we'll try to find them. We'll start. They have to do the speed limit too. They can't exceed.
Okay.
So, and then on the major roads, we're trying to get people 10 plus. In the neighborhoods, we're not going to do that.
It's someone's gonna get hurt.
32 arrests for the second quarter. And then moving along to mutual aid, our mutual aid numbers have improved significantly. So law enforcement mutual aid for the third quarter, 3 months, we went 6 times, 2 to Cedar Point, 4 to the county. We assisted fire and EMS 66 times, and we requested mutual aid 6 times. So we washed the mutual aid numbers for the first time since I've been. That is the presentation. If you have any questions,
Can you go over this?
you can go over that. So what that is,
This is pretty impressive.
I gave those numbers to Gene so he could pass those out to you guys. I have a copy somewhere here. Basically, that's a staffing comparative and call volume comparison to the other small municipal agencies around here. I did not include Moorhead. Our numbers compared to Moorhead is such a large agency. But you can look at what we're doing staffing wise with 7 full-time officers, and the next closest agency to us has 10. Our guys are working. Just so you know, through July 4th weekend, everybody worked 3 days straight. No one had any time off. They were brought in if it was their weekend shift off to work. We got those saturation problems. That's why you saw a lot of officers on the road.
I heard a
But
lot.
there were a lot of officers in the neighborhoods.
Thank you to all the police officers.
Anything else?
Yeah, I would just like to say that the officer that pulled me coming back from a show late one night was very, very nice.
That's good to hear. That's always good to hear.
Yeah, no, I knew who I was, which I thought was awesome. So it reminded me of the Andy Griffith episode where Marty tagged the governor's car. So, but that was great. I had a light out on my tag, so just let me know.
I heard you got it fixed. So that's
So it was all good.
all right. Thank you.
Thanks, Chief. Okay, next up, the consent agenda. Anybody want to make a motion?
I'll make the motion to approve the items on the consent agenda.
Okay. Second.
I'll second.
All in favor? All right, next up is consideration of the ordinance amending the Unified Development Ordinance to clarify the definition of adult entertainment. Gene?
Thank you, Mayor. So we got some questions about what this was in fact, and our UDO had this use, but it had no definition. So there was nothing to describe exactly what this is. So we took our best stab at describing this, went to the Planning Commission on June 16th, and they recommended unanimous approval. And that definition is pretty much casinos, gaming establishments, gambling halls, betting facilities, sweepstakes operations, electronic gaming centers, internet sweepstakes, cafes, sports wagering facilities, poker rooms, bingo halls, for profit, similar establishments where gambling, wagering, betting, or any gaming activities occur. Be glad to answer any questions you have about this, but this is just an effort to better define it in our ordinance.
We also have a public hearing on that, so.
Can I ask a question before we go to public
Sure,
hearing?
go right ahead.
At one time, in the adult industry ordinance, it talked about bars with topless women and massage. Is that still in the ordinances?
It is, yes, sir. So we have a definition in there that addresses sexually oriented businesses, yes, sir.
Because it was under adult entertainment at one time.
All right, so have a motion to go into public hearing. Thank you, Dave. Second. All in favor? All right, we are now in public hearing. We did have one person sign to speak, Ms. Holtz.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Commissioners. The general manager of Bank Daddy's attended the planning board meeting when this was discussed, but he had another commitment this evening and asked me to speak and be sure that we understand at Mac Daddy's that our games are not considered gambling machines, and that Mac Daddy's machines do not fall under this ordinance, that they are more or less grandfathered in as entertainment, and that we are not in danger of having our arcade shut down. So that's the question.
So we did talk about this.
Yes, we did.
Yes, ma'am, and I understand you want to get it on the record.
Thank you.
So I think that's an arcade. If y'all put in video poker machines, that would be different.
Right,
But I think
right.
right now it's an arcade.
Yes, sir.
So I don't think it's grandfathered. I think it's just simply a different use. It would be
Well,
my
thank you.
interpretation.
Thank you for that correction,
Yes,
but we
ma'am.
just want to be sure we're law-abiding citizens. We have no intention of gambling or topless dancers or anything like that. Thank you.
Well, that's good to hear. I do reverse pole dancing. You pay me to keep my clothes on. It's worth every penny. All right, that's all we had for public hearing, so entertain a motion to go out of public hearing back in regular session.
I made a motion.
Okay,
I'll second.
all righty, all in favor? Okay. All right, we're back in regular session. Any comments or questions?
We want to make a motion to approve.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. You want to do it?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have a motion to approve.
Approve.
I'll second it.
All in favor? All righty. Discussion of framework of comprehensive plan. Gene, once again.
So at last month's meeting, y'all tasked me with providing a framework and outline for a comprehensive plan. In this year's budget process, we did a capital improvement plan, adopted that as part of this year's budget. I was tasked with looking at this, and of course, if you look at these as a framework, and your budget was here, your CIP was here, your comprehensive plan would be your 30,000-foot view of the direction of the town. In your package, you'll find that tonight, and I'll run over it with you really quickly and answer any questions that you have. So the first thing would be introduction and goals. So I think it's very important to understand why are we undertaking this? If y'all want to undertake this, why are we doing it? Right? That's very important to have a vision and direction for the town. And that would be the reason why. we would do that. Topics covered, what you see before you tonight in your packet are the items that I gleaned out of our budget discussions. Okay, so there should be more. It's not could be more. There should be more, and there should be more depth to these, right? So that's parks and recreation. So we talked about water access. We talked about parks. We talked about playgrounds, shoreline protection there at the parks, but also on private property as well. New zip code, which we keep pushing forward with, right? So that should be another. That's a goal of our town. Community events, which we have an activities committee now, so that's underway. Sewer here in this end of the county. Again, that should be something when we look out, 20, 30 years. That's the thing we're looking at, kind of keeping our eyes on that. New town hall facility, walkability and connectivity. We've talked about that a great deal with our sidewalks and the Cape Carter Trail. And then we should also look at future land use. What do we want to be here when in 20, 30 years? All those things. You can capture a lot in these plans. And I would tell you, it can be as in-depth or as small as you want the plan to be. I personally and professionally like a plan that's very direct and has action items in it, right? So it's very direct. It's not a plan that's this thick that we never look at again. So an important point to make is one board can't bind a future board. So we could decide that this is what we want to be, and then in 5 years, I hope we're all still here, but we may not be, right? A future board could come in and say, that's not what we want to be at all. We want to do this, not that. And so I think the important thing to understand with all this is this is the here and now, but it should be something we revisit every year. Typically, there's a steering committee appointed to guide these processes. Everyone I've ever been involved with had a steering committee. There should be commissioners on that committee. There could be planning board members on that committee. It could be business owners. It could be citizens. It could be whoever you decided to appoint to that committee. One of the biggest parts of any of these, and probably the most time consuming, is public participation. So without public participation, you don't have much of a plan. And so you need at least 3 public participation sessions during all of this. The other thing that I put in here was regional cooperation. So who are our partners outside of our geographic boundaries? Who are we working with, outside of the town limits? Who's important to our success? Whose success are we important to? Those things. Communication strategy. That's something that we really need to look at the outset. How are we disseminating this? Again, a public participation meeting that nobody shows up at is much of a public participation meeting. We need to make sure that we're communicating not only the upfront and the opportunities, but kind of the direction of the plan. And then the implementation of the plan. I've got 2 short points here on that. One is action items that were reviewed on an annual basis that provide for accountability. And the accountability isn't so much is, did we get this done? It could be, why didn't we get this done? What are the roadblocks and how do we need to shift in this future year? How do we need to shift here to get these things done? And then lastly, making sure that we're reviewing this on an annual basis, making sure that there's some type of review process, because our priorities may change. Even with the same board, our priorities may change. With a different board, the priorities may change. So making sure we're addressing those and updating that on a yearly basis. That's pretty much the outline in a nutshell. Be glad to answer any questions you have about it.
So are you wanting to suggest to us a number for this advisory board for you?
So I think an advisory board should be probably 5 to 6 people. I think 5 to 6 allows you to move effectively and make headway. I think when you get 10 and 12, a lot of times you can't get anything done, right? So I think 5 or 6 gives you a good cross section. I think it also, if you do your public participation correctly, you're hearing from people, but it's 5 to 6 people that guide that process.
So what are you looking to accomplish tonight?
So tonight, really, again, I was just tasked with providing an outline. This is the outline before you. I think tonight, if y'all decided you wanted to move forward, I can frame this up further. I can put dates on the calendar as far as when we want to start with public participation. I think that I can come back, or you all can go out and use the process that we have as far as getting that committee put together, right? So we can decide exactly how we want to do that, when we want to do that, and start addressing that next month. So, unless you were looking to make appointments tonight. So, that would be the two big things I'd want to. It puts dates on the calendar, at least dates for your review on the calendar, and kind of frames up who we want as part of this committee. That would be the two things I'd want to accomplish tonight.
I'd like to make a motion that we set up a committee of 5, 1 commissioner, 1 planning board person, business owner, and 2 citizens.
Okay. Very good. If y'all have any recommendations, I can get them the appropriate paperwork for that, so y'all can look at appointment next month. Or if you'd like to go a different route.
How about you give us a month to think about it before we start?
I can do
Let's
that.
establish the commission first.
Okay, I like it. We can do that.
I would agree with Commissioner Ritchie, except I would add to his motion, establish a commission, but also to the framework for subsequent events. That we can put that in there.
Okay.
So, and then I guess we can come back and decide the numbers and who and frequency and all that.
So let me understand, you're asking to combine both into one?
Just to establish a commission and then the schedule.
Do we need a motion for this?
Can I amend the motion to include Mr. Monroe's thoughts?
Absolutely.
Yeah, just all we need is a consensus. We don't
Yeah,
have to vote on
consensus.
making up of it.
I'm good. I work with people.
Yeah, this is great. This is what the town needs for sure with how big we're getting and where we're going. This is part of the reason I ran is to push this type of stuff forward. We have to have a plan. So thank you.
And just for clarification, I think this is a point that needs to be made. Just for clarification, we're going to do this with in-house staff. This is not something that we're going to go out and pay a consultant a lot of money to do. A lot of times those plans aren't tailored to the community. This is something we're going to do in-house.
Can't afford it.
Yes, small plan, it's executable.
Yes, sir.
It's great.
All righty. Well, keep talking, Gene.
All right, I got
Town
one more.
manager report.
Go one more time. So I'll be pretty brief. So just want to, everybody's seen the new playground come up on Taylor Nation Road. We've talked about the Sarah James Fulcher Foundation, all the good that they've done. I spoke with James Fulcher today. We were working on getting the border put in, getting the border acquired and the border put in and the mulch. So the foundation's come through for us again. They're going to provide that. Looks like we ought to see some activity out there week after next when that comes in. So we ought to be able to have a grand opening in August. That's what we're hoping for. So ribbon cutting. We've got a little bit of work to do there in the parking lot. As far as sidewalk connectivity, some ADA requirements and other things that we're going to work on here in-house. So all those things look like they're really coming together for a ribbon cutting. So we're exceptionally excited about that. 2 or 3 months ago, Commissioner Monroe asking by consensus for a microchip reader for pets out here at Town Hall. We were able to acquire that. It looks like it'll be installed within the week this week. So you'll see it pop up outside the police department right here. Got good lighting right there. It's right there beside. It's got a place to get off the road. It's got all the things that would make a good place for that. So hopefully by the end of the week, and keep our fingers crossed, that's going to be installed. So as soon as we get it, it'll be installed. I want to thank Representative Carnes for her help here recently with an appropriation to the town. We've talked a lot about a new town hall and how we would accomplish that. She was able to secure a $100,000 appropriation for the town, which is really important. It gives us some seed money to look at that in the future. So that was very, very good news for us, and appreciate her support there. A little lighter and more exciting news. The mayor is hosting first ever Mayor's Jam out here behind Town Hall tomorrow night. So that'll be from 6 to 8 tomorrow night. We're very excited about that. Very excited to have a community event right here, and our very own mayor hosting that. So thank you for doing that, Mayor, and really excited about that. I'll be here to listen and participate. However,
All right.
not sing. You
Are you sure?
Sing. No, sir. No, sir. No,
I got a
sir.
kazoo.
No, I can do that.
I heard he plays a mean harmonica.
Put me in, Coach. Put me in. Wanted to talk just a second about our fishing tournament coming up on September 19th. We're just super excited about it. It's taking legs. We've got several monetary sponsors so far. We didn't realize how popular it was going to be. So we opened up registration at 10 o'clock one morning, and 2 mornings later, we had 100 kids signed up, which is just awesome. It's really, really, really awesome to have that much participation. So right now we're still out garnering sponsorships. We've already had some folks come up and sponsor the tournament. We're excited about that. Got Onslow Bay Saltwater Fishing Club coming to volunteer to help with it. Just a really, really exciting event for an inaugural event to have taken legs this quickly. So we're excited about that. Hope everybody will come and volunteer, consider sponsoring, and just really excited about it. Lastly, I'll say we have our first interest in our Adopt a Bench program. So if anybody knows anybody that's interested in a bench to memorialize or honor one of your loved ones here in town, we'd love to talk to you about that. And that's all I have, man.
What's the cost on the benches?
$1,300. So that's for the bench, that's for the concrete, that's for our guys installed. Yes, sir.
That's a good deal.
Yes, sir.
All right, any questions or comments for Gene?
Gene, have you read the new North Carolina laws concerning the e-bikes and that's coming into effect this fall?
Brett and I just were looking over that
Okay.
because that's a question that's come up several times. Commissioner Ritchie mentioned it to me again today. So that's something Brett and I are going to look into and probably draft something up and bring to you in the coming month.
Okay, that's something you need to run by the planning board too?
Yes, sir, probably so. It's not a land use law, so would we have to? No, but typically we would.
Well, my primary concern is where they fit in on the multi-use path. So
Yes, sir.
you can get something to us on that and appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. No more questions for Gene, then we'll go right on to the commissioner reports. And Steve, go ahead and crank up.
I have nothing to report today.
Okay. Dave?
No, just I'm very happy. I'd like to thank the town manager for all the hard work he's been doing between everything that was talked about, the microchip readers and the playground, the shoreline protection, fishing tournament, comprehensive plan. I think that's all great stuff for the town. Again, I'd just like to talk about the Carolina Museum of the Marine. If anybody in the town staff is interested in going over there, I took the town manager this past week to see it. I'm happy to take anybody over there and show them the place. I volunteer there. It's a very interesting museum because of the connection to the community, which is Jacksonville, but the wider area. One of the things on display there is the flight suit of a Marine fighter pilot. I think his name was Holtz. It's on display there. So it touches the community directly as well.
Is it Bill's flight suit?
Yeah, her husband. So that's all I have.
Okay. John?
I want to thank Ryan. Town looks fabulous. You're doing a great job. Thank you for all you do. I want to say thank you to the police department. Man, looking at what you do, the staff that you have, wonderful. To Heather and Kesley, thank you for all you guys do. Jeff, keep us straight. And to Gene, all the hard work that you've done. So that's all I've got.
All right. Well, I'd like to thank the planning board. You guys do make our job easier. So thank you for your hard work and showing up. And speaking of showing up, thank you, Commissioner Waltrip. And I'd like to recognize you for you were appointed to the UNC Chapel Hill Board of Visitors recently. So that's a big achievement there. And you are everywhere. Everywhere I go, you're there. You've been there. And I know I'm putting you on the spot. What exactly is that appointment with the UNC? Is that work with like the ROTC or how's that?
The Board of Visitors each year solicits recommendations to the Board of Trustees for selection.
Okay.
So the Board of Visitors is very large. It's about 200 people, but every year they get a new 40 person cohort.
Okay.
And it's an extension of the development department, so it's a fundraising effort, but it's really an extension of the chancellor.
Okay.
And so it will be related to veteran. The chancellor has asked that Carolina be viewed, and so we have some work to do as one of the most veteran-friendly institutions in the country.
Wow.
And so they have picked some veterans for the board.
You got more work to do. Well, thank you. We appreciate you. And that's all I have for tonight.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank Kesley and Heather, Jean. This activities committee is really, it's setting root. I really appreciate all the work you guys have put in. I mean, that flyer, Kesley, is beautiful. I mean, it was really good. Obviously, you guys could see, like, it's just skyrocketed. So that's your efforts that you put in. So thank you so much. The community really, really appreciate you. Other than that, again, I'd like to pony on the back of John and thank you guys for our beautiful town. It wouldn't be here without you guys sitting here and patrolling and cleaning up the streets and keeping everything nice and straight. And then, Brett, you're keeping us out of trouble. Appreciate you, bud. Other than that, God bless everybody. I appreciate all of you.
All right. I'll just reiterate what an awesome staff we have all the way around. Everybody here just doing a great job for this little bitty town. I sure do love it. So come on out tomorrow night. We'll try to make some noise. I have no idea how it's going to go, but we'll see. We got to give it a try. We got this gorgeous stage out there. I just hate to see it just sitting there. So we're going to try it. And John, you're welcome to come and play too. I'll bring something for you.
You might be amazed.
I usually am. You never know.
What about Taco Bell? I saw that they were in operation.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. They opened on the 8th. They appeared by all visual indicators to be busy. Me and the town staff went over there and ate on opening day, or actually we ordered and brought it back over here and ate so we could keep answering the phones while we did it. But yeah, it was as good a Taco Bell experience as I've ever had.
What about the other half of the money?
So that'll be coming up here shortly. And we had a budget amendment tonight to pay that. Yes, sir.
Sorry, that's one.
Yes, sir.
We got a new fire
Everybody
chief
good?
too.
That's right. Sure do. ILA, everything's looking good. Thanks again, Ms. Walter, for showing up tonight. Appreciate it. And thank you all for being here tonight. I always love to see a full house because that's what we need. It's your town. I want to keep you involved. So with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. All right, second.
Second.
All in favor? Thanks. Y'all have a great day.
All right.
6:33.
Do you want this?